Super Bowl. La NFL
Ajá.
presenta los jugadores del club de la conferencia americana y la nacional que se van a enfrentar en un partido por la última ronda, es decir, el Super Bowl. Se celebrará en San Francisco y se transmitirá por ESPN. El fútbol americano de bandera debutará por cierto en los regresar a los playoffs tras 6 años de ausencia contienen varios refuerzos. Parece que están listos para el renacimiento de la franquicia. Bueno, el buen Michael Jordan, que todos conocemos, sí dice que no ha tocado una pelota de base en los últimos años. Sí, en su debut como colaborador especial
Peace out. What's up, Michael Jordan? What do you, Jordan? What do you mean? Yeah, the coach?
No,
Vayamos a también a más de la NBA que su arranque.
Pero he retired a long time ago.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Pues superaron la actuación de Lucas Doncic de los Lakers, que anotó 43 puntos, haciéndolos por 119 a 5 en el juego inaugural. LeBron James se perdió el primer juego de la temporada por primera vez a sus 23 años.
Get out of here.
La banca de los Lakers por estar en el terminal. Vamos a la acción del deporte. Fue de Charles López Alexander con la canasta que forzó a juego de Overtime. Ahí vamos a ver entre Russell de Houston y que gana finalmente los Thunder. Los Thunder tuvieron de todo eso, porque tuvieron la ceremonia de entrega de libros de campeón, la revelación precisamente de la banda de campeón y la victoria sobre los Buckets. Esa fue la acción del deporte esta tarde.
Really? Come on.
Más acción.
De alguna forma se convirtió en una casa, en otra. Pero ahora es la opción. No para hasta tenerlo todo en la guía nuclear. Por recibir 0% APR en este modelo 7. Esto es mejor que $1,500 que vas a pagar.
Bye. Uy.
Híjole, como que se me hace que está terminando el periodo de clase en estos momentos.
Oh.
Y yo no quiero leer como los en clase. Unas enchiladas calientes.
Porque se llama The
Oye. Barbacoa.
Las tormentas de granizo pueden causar daños generalizados en obra. Después de estas tormentas, los contratistas deshonestos se presentan con la esperanza de hacer dinero fácil con su reclamo de seguro. Cometen cualquier cosa con tal de que firmen un contrato. Cobran por adelantado y en última instancia hacen un trabajo de mala calidad cuando lo hacen. Evite ser víctima de fraude de contratistas. Obtenga presupuestos de al menos 3 contratistas. Verifique las referencias y recuerde. Si no lo solicitó, rechácelo. Si sospecha de fraude, llame a la Oficina Nacional de Derechos de Seguros al 1800 TEL-NSD.
Daca. Alrighty. Let's go. Let's get out of here. But uh-oh. Here we go again.
Una maestra con 21 años de experiencia impartiendo clases fue sorprendida esta mañana al ser reconocida como la maestra del mes. Miren. Estudiantes Escolar Independiente de Laredo. Luis González recibió numerosas nominaciones que destacan su compasión e innovación en la enseñanza de lectura y escritura a estudiantes con necesidades especiales.
Mi prioridad como maestra de dislexia es que ellos puedan leer independientemente y puedan ser honestos de que sean adultos.
Bueno, el programa de
Peace out.
está patrocinado por el despacho de abogados de John Taylor. Si usted quiere nominar a un maestro, visite nuestro sitio web, telemundo.com. Y felicidades a la maestra Mireya.
Claro, por toda su labor pues, el cuidado de los niños, la enseñanza, una vocación que le
Bueno, hasta aquí con la información, pero recuerda que en punto de las 10 les tenemos más noticias. Que tengan muy buenas tardes.
A ver si es cierto. Con Miguel.
Accidente, no lo enfrentes solo. Habla con Germán Cantula.
Trump's expanding White House construction project now includes demolishing the entire East Wing to make way for the massive...
Oh, good man. Banana coin. Oh, solid snake. Oh, it takes it. Greatly calm. Ashley? Who's that? I don't know.
about the operation. A school bus burst into flames. The mob who went to the rescue. And it's raining monkeys in Florida.
Monkeys?
This mass primate clown.
Monkeys.
Que vamos a abrir.
Ah, okay.
Lunch.
Ah, okay.
This is the CBS Evening News.
It's raining monkeys. It's not raining
I'm
men.
John Dickinson. I'm here tonight with President Trump's expanding plans to architecturally transform the White House, which we learned today includes the complete destruction of the East Wing.
The first images that emerged on Monday of the ripped-down walls of the First Lady's wing sparked criticism from those who want to preserve the history of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
And those who point to the president's promise last summer that
Let's
the
go.
massive, privately funded ballroom he's building would not touch or interfere with the current building.
The president calls the project a much-needed modernization. Critics call it a desecration.
Senior White House spokesman Lisa Zhang leads us off from the North Lawn, is it?
Good evening. Tonight, President Trump says the ballroom construction will cost $300 million, up from $200 million, which was his original estimate, all paid for, as you mentioned, by private donors. Senior administration officials tell me it was always
Let's
the
go.
plan to modernize the East Wing, and demolishing it completely makes the most sense. As construction crews continue to tear down the East Wing of the White House,
Nobody's actually seen anything quite like it. And we're going to do one of the great brawls anywhere.
You're up, Kirby.
tonight, President Trump showed off
Let's
the
go.
plan.
It's really an honor to add that.
And also feature recording
to
guys.
the structures in Washington. It's going to be one of the great ballrooms of the world, and I think it's going to be something you're all going to be very proud of.
The 90,000 square foot ballroom, once finished, will be nearly double the size of the main White House building. The demolition has taken many by surprise after Trump said this in July.
Won't interfere with the current building.
Ya la mismo.
Got you, Nick. And pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite.
The First Lady's office has already been demolished. A family theater and a gift shop will also be flattened. In a new letter to the Trump administration, the National Trust for Historic Preservation wrote that the addition will overwhelm the White House itself and urged officials to pause the demolition
go.
until the plans have been reviewed by the National Capital Planning Commission, which approves plans for federal buildings. Brian Green was a commissioner until July.
This is a building that belongs to all of us. This is part of our heritage. This is part of our story as Americans. And we deserve to have that conversation about its fate and what happens to it.
Tourists we spoke with on site today were torn over the president's project.
I think it's disgraceful. It's a desecration. I don't know that anybody particularly wants a big ballroom.
Mexico had his bowling alley. They had a swimming pool. So, he's had new stuff. And it's going to be beautiful this summer. Absolutely beautiful.
So, DJ, you mentioned the National Capital Planning Commission has to review these renovation plans. Is the White House engaging with them right now?
Yes, So White House official says they will submit construction plans to the commission at an appropriate time, adding the group does not have oversight over demolitions. CBS News spoke with former First Lady Laura Bush's chief of staff, Megan McBride, who said multiple East Wing alums across administrations are stunned by the demo images, sharing this quote from former First Lady Betty Ford: "If the West Wing is the mind of the nation, then the East Wing is its heart."
Okay, we're going at the White House. Thanks so much.
Turning now to the president's widening war on alleged drug trafficking, not only in the Caribbean, but now also the Pacific Ocean.
The U.S. military strike last night off Colombia was the eighth strike in recent months against suspected smugglers. At least 2 of them were killed, bringing the total now to 34.
Here's senior national security correspondent Charlie Daggett.
New video posted by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth appears to show a speedboat half-loaded with large black bundles slicing through the waves. A flash of bright light followed by an explosion, then the vessel engulfed in flames.
Every one of those boats that gets knocked out is saving 25,000 Americans.
It's the first known military operation in the Pacific. The boat taken out off the coast of Colombia, which produces 90% of the cocaine that eventually is sold in the United States.
They make drugs. They refine drugs. They make cocaine. They have cocaine factories.
The previous 7 strikes, killing at least 32 people, were conducted in the Caribbean near Venezuela, where the U.S. military footprint includes 10,000 troops in 8 warships. The president has argued the boats were carrying drugs headed for the United States, but most of the drugs trafficked through the Caribbean are headed for Europe. As in those Caribbean strikes, no evidence was given about who was on board the boat hit last night or what exactly they were carrying. The administration has designated the cartels as terrorist organizations and claims the strikes are legitimate because the U.S. is engaged in an armed conflict.
Oh, come on. Another dead.
International waters headed towards the United States with hostilities in mind, which includes flooding our country with dangerous shoving drugs.
Former top DEA agent Mike Meeker disputes that assessment.
It running brightly is a uniform code of military justice. It violates human rights. And there's no proof that these boats were
Never trust Ganondorf, guys. No matter which version.
That former DEA agent also told us that blowing up a few boats will have little impact on the cartels, that they're adept at changing routes, and if Trump intends on making an impact...
Or Master Hand, guys. You'll see why.
...on land.
Charlie Daggett in Washington, thank you, Charlie.
President Trump said this evening it was he who called off his anticipated second summit with Russia's Vladimir Putin.
They were to meet in Hungary to discuss an end to the war in Ukraine, but the president said it didn't feel right to meet with Putin at this time, so he canceled.
The president had an office meeting with the Secretary General of NATO, also discussed immediate U.S. sanctions against Russian oil companies. Thanks Nation moderator Margaret Bennett here now to take us through this. So Margaret, just a week ago, I know it seems longer, but President Trump was talking with Zelensky and Putin, but if anything, things are looking worse in Ukraine this week as we speak. So does that explain why the NATO Secretary General is there in Washington?
Yes. 2 European officials tell me that Trump now has some realization that Vladimir Putin needs to be pushed in order to come to that negotiating table, and that he cannot demolish a kindergarten and pay zero cost for it. Today, we saw those images from a preschool that took a direct hit from Russian missiles. And you can see in the video parents coming to find their young children as they were evacuated. Thankfully, none of those kids were seriously injured, but this strike came just 24 hours after President Trump announced that he had pushed off planning that peace summit. So today, the NATO Secretary General is here to try to keep ceasefire negotiations on the table urgently.
So, Margaret, if the president is now engaged in a new realization, what exactly happens now?
Your mom.
Well, we'll see how far that realization takes him. You know, today he committed to more sanctions on Russian oil and gas companies to dissuade their trading partners from continuing to buy the products. And on the battlefield, my sources tell me that the administration has turned back on the intelligence sharing that allows Ukraine to make more precise long-range strikes inside of Russia. That's for targets that include energy sites and military infrastructure, but not anything that would be politically sensitive. And President Trump said today he does have a limit here. He will not be providing American-made long-range missiles to Ukraine.
Okay, Margaret Brennan in Washington, thank you.
And now more of the top stories from around the world in tonight's Evening News Roundup. A tow truck driver had to be rescued today after a crash left his truck dangling from an overpass near Dallas. Police say the driver swerved to avoid a disabled vehicle, hit a concrete barrier, and nearly went over the side. He escaped without serious injuries.
The Louvre Museum opened in Paris today, 3 days after Sunday's daring jewel heist. Thieves stole France's crown jewels worth more than $100 million before escaping a motorbike. The museum director says no external cameras saw or captured them on video. She submitted her resignation but was rejected by the government.
And more than 400 items, including Muppets and props from Jim Henson's storied career, are for auction. The first auction ever from his archives. Online bidding opened today and the auction closes next month. Henson's production company this year is celebrating its 70th anniversary.
Now to a terrifying scene of a school bus bursting into flames captured on a wind camera in Minnesota.
All on board narrowly escaped thanks to a quick-thinking mom, John Morrison of CBS News.
You was up?
The school day is normally routine in Carrie Thorpe's neighborhood. But a couple weeks ago, as her daughter was getting dropped off, Carrie noticed smoke and flames coming from under the bus and alerted the driver.
It was crazy. I mean, I'm just thankful that people
They worked quickly to get all 22 kids off safely. Her ring doorbell captured the East Bethel Elementary students gathering in front of the house as the flames began to spread.
Kids were crying, kids were scared and freaking out. It was quite emotional, but it was quite okay.
Within minutes, the fire had taken over.
It moved pretty fast, yeah. I mean, it was probably within 15 minutes that things engulfed. It was crazy to see the fire explode.
School staff and volunteer firefighters arrived quickly. They got the flames under control, and it was when the bus was finally towed away that you could see just how intense the fire was. She and the bus driver were recognized by parents and school leaders for their heroic efforts as investigators work to figure out what caused the fire.
No, it doesn't look like I'm gonna press it this week, guys. It's okay. Much better for more. Grandpa. What the?
Is becoming a huge problem in the U.S. In Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Monkeys. No, it's because I was thinking of something funny.
So we don't sell any commission-based products. Then how do you make money? We have a simple management fee structured so we do better and our clients do better. Our clients really come first. Yeah, we make them priority by getting to know their finances, paying health, lifestyle, and
Before taking breast treatment for my COPD, I had bad days. Days really like flares. That could permanently damage my lungs. Then I talked to my doctor about breast treatment, and I noticed things changed. Breast treatment was better breathing. Starting within 5 minutes, my lung function improved. Breast treatment also helped improve my symptoms. I was given permission to reduce flares, including those that concerned me. Now, I'm worrying less about that.
Oh no! Luigi.
Breast treatment replaces breast chemo for some breathing problems. It is not plastic. Call your doctor for
Don't take breast chemo. I like them apples, boy.
Call your doctor if breast and breathing, chest pain, muscle tone swelling, problems, urinating, vision changes, or osteoporosis. Get further medication? Ask your doctor may be able to help.
Ask your doctor about breast treatment for COPD.
No, too late.
This is Fresh Pet. Here, there are no fillers, no spray-on flavors, no compromises. Just vet-developed recipes packed with fresh meat and healthy veggies.
because real fresh food belongs in everybody's bag. The Tempur-Pedic greens are sleek, pure food. The most lemonade food blasting awakening. Because the Tempur Breeze goes up to Tempur Breeze Cool. All year long. 5 coolers made with the Tempur Breeze collection. And actually near you.
Are you one of the millions of Americans who suffer from an upset stomach after a big meal? Try Pepto-Bismol. Unlike some products, Pepto cools and soothes your digestive system to provide fast 5-second relief. Stock up on Pepto today.
Breast cancer rates continue to improve thanks to advances in detection and treatment, but still, with aggressive cancers, roughly 30% of patients will relapse.
A recent clinical trial shows success in identifying and treating breast cancer survivors at higher risk because of dormant sleeper cells that hide in their bodies.
Laying behind a man with a patient who has no hope.
Casiano Vasquez and her husband Sam cherished every minute together. 6 years ago, she was diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer, triple negative, which has fewer treatment options and a higher rate of recurrence.
The first thing I thought about were my boys. So, and the same feeling of, oh my God, I'm gonna die. So there was this immediate, I'm not gonna die.
Chemotherapy and a government supplement eliminated signs of cancer, but naturally she's still worried.
The mental struggle that comes with the fear of recurrence is really strong.
Dr. Angela DiMichele is Casiano Vasquez's oncologist.
So she had about a 25% chance that the breast cancer would come back within 5 years.
She co-leads a team conducting a clinical trial that targets breast cancer sleeper cells, cells that break away from the main tumor and can resurface later to spread cancer throughout the body.
The way that we follow patients, we're not going to, right now, find the cancer until it's already found its way to another part of the body, and by that time it's incurable.
There were sleeper cells in Casiano Vasquez's bone marrow, so Dr. DiMichele gave her drugs to attack the cells.
After the 6 months of treatment, what did you find?
Poor
we were
Master
so thrilled we could no longer see these dormant cells in her bone marrow.
There were 51 women in the trial. After 7 years, only 2 people saw the cancer come back, far below the expected average.
We're gonna
The
build a
next
board.
steps are to take this to larger trials to confirm this, and then to really see if this could also apply to other cancers.
Casiano Vasquez finds herself incredibly fortunate and is now part of the follow-up study.
The only chance I have is if this clinical trial continues to work. It's a chance I have now to give them hope that it'll come back.
Aaron Cavani, CBS News, Pottstown, Pennsylvania.
America is next.
How millions of dollars in goods are being stolen by
Bye-bye.
through deception.
Oh, shut up.
Laser measure floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump stack, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
Bronchiectasis flares can make you loud. So loud that flares can feel like they're taking. And the worst part, flares can cause permanent damage to your lungs. It's time to quiet your bronchiectasis flares by preventing as many as you can.
Awesome.
Ask the pulmonologist about a different bronchiectasis treatment option that can help. Learn more at treatbe.com.
Pain in multiple spots are here, or here. Salon Pass patches. Stick firmly and remove filtering. Once your pain is gone. Salon Pass. It's good medicine.
Oh, Gray Fox. Oh, shit. Have a good one, guys.